Let's look at some of the editing features. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to edit a sketch. So if we go up here and we look at our front view, when we created this bottom slot, we said that it was not fully defined and that we would define it later. And so the way that we can do that is if I go to my bottom slot and these arrows here, it brings me to the sketch, and I can either right click on it and get to the sketch that way, or I can right click on the actual feature itself, and what this does is it gives me a way to edit either the feature or the sketch, and we want to edit the sketch. And so the reason this is undefined or underdefined is we said it does not tie back to the origin. When we created this vertical boss, we did tie this back to the origin. And so that's what we're going to do. But we're going to use sketch relations instead of dimensions. And so if I click here on this vertical line, and I hold my control key down and I click on this vertical line, it brings up my properties window. And you can see that there's no existing relations between the two. And I want to make these two collinear. What that basically means is that they're in a straight line. They follow the same line. I'm going to click the green check, OK, and I'm going to do the same to this side. And now I'm going to click OK, and now you can see that the lines turn black and I'm fully defined. So if we hit this arrow here, if I hit the red X, it's going to discard what I did and it's going to exit the sketch. If I do this, it's going to save the edits that I just made and apply them. And so now you can see the slot moved. Whenever I make a change or an edit like that, even though that it looks like everything was accepted correctly, what I do is I'm going to go up here and I'm going to come up here to the stoplight and I'm going to click on that and rebuild it. And basically what that does is it just ensures that all the edits that you made were incorporated into that model. All right, next we're going to edit a feature. And so if I roll this kind of like this, we should have probably, according to the drawing, put a fillet around this edge as well. And so one thing we forgot. Let's do this. Let's edit this and do 8mm fillet. And we'll do 3mm fillet. All right, so if I click on the 3mm fillet and I right click, I can edit this feature. And so it opens this up. This is the same box that was open, or the same menu that was open when we created the fillet. But now what I can do is I can actually add to that. And so if I come up here and I click this edge, this top edge, you can see it went all the way around. And I also want to click over here, and what that does is now it will fill it all the way around the bottom. We'll click OK. And now you can see that whole part is radiused all the way around. So the third way that we can edit is using the rollback bar. And sometimes this works really well if we have like a lot of features and we want to add something. And some of the features that we have on the part are kind of getting in the way where we want to add things. So this blue bar here it always is going to be to the end of the last thing we created. And I can just left click on here and I can drag this anywhere I want. And what it does is it rolls it back and it grays these out, which basically makes it look like we didn't do them yet. And it puts the model into the state at this point in time. And so I can either drag that, or I can do the same thing. I can right click on any feature, and then I can come back up here to this arrow, which is rollback, and it will go up to the same spot. So for this, we're going to roll back just ahead of the fillet, or both fillets, and we're going to put a couple of holes in here to finish this part up. So let's go up to our view, and let's do a top view. All right, we're going to put 2 holes in this surface. And the way the book shows it, it shows to create 2 points first, and we can certainly do it that way. But that would be, we would have to do another sketch, put 2 points here, and then dimension it. And that's fine, we could do that. We can also just click on this surface, go back to the hole wizard. Let's define the hole first. It's metric. We're going to do a ANSI metric. It's going to be a size of 7 millimeters. Oops, I'm sorry. Our type is going to be drill sizes. I got to select the right one first. So we're going to do just a regular drilled hole, which is this one. Now for type, we're going to look and we're going to do drill sizes. We're going to do 7 millimeter. And through all. So we're good there. We're going to go to positions. And now if I put a hole here and a hole here, it doesn't really matter. I can go up and I can smart dimension them. And if we'll do 15 from that edge. Oops. And we'll do 10 millimeters from the top. And we'll do the same over here. So we have the hole locations where we want them. We'll click check and OK. And there's the 2 holes. And when we're done with that, we can roll these back. Now we would not had to have grayed that out before we did the holes. It probably just makes it a little easier to click on the sides for dimension it. But there's our part for now. We're going to do one more thing. So if we want, we can apply different colors to this, different appearances, and there are several ways that we can get to that. I can either click on a certain face and then right click, and under appearances I can click what I want, or if I want the whole part, I can either come over here and I can get there that way. I can also click on the part here and then right click, and I can go to appearances here, and you can see that it brings this new menu out. And if I click on appearance here, I get these color swatches, and so I can pick a color, and we'll just pick that one, and I can apply that to the part to change the appearance. Now, if I want to get really in detail, I could go to, instead of the color, I could do a texture. I could apply different lights and fabrics and textures to this to make it look more realistic. I could go back into my tools and click this as a photorealistic model, and again get shadows and lighting images and stuff back. It's just to show that there's a lot that you can do with this, and to change the appearance of your part. But you can play around with that. Go ahead and save this part because we're going to be working with this again to create a drawing in the next video.